Hey everybody, today is April 29th, 2022. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And welcome to Hanging with Uncle.
How's it going, man?
Man, I've got these stomach cramps that won't leave me alone.
I'm so sorry, man. I see you struggling over there.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so sorry. That sucks.
It's like I cough and my stomach cramps and it hurts.
Yeah.
But we'll get through this.
We'll get through it, man. I mean, if you need to stretch it out, I got the airtime. I got you covered.
Yeah.
Gene, also, we are smoking some good stuff today.
Yeah.
I want to put that out there. I'm hoping this maybe helps you loosen up a little bit. It's called Mean Mug. You got this...
in Portland.
Yeah, out of state.
I went to go see... Yeah, so, I mean, long story short, man. I went to go visit Portland because I've never been there. And that's really one of the main reasons we went. But a fortuitous note, one of my good old friends from Compton PD, Arnie Villarreal, lives in the area, and I got to spend some time with him.
He's the host of the podcast, right?
He's the host of the podcast, A Compton Cop.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, go check him out. He's commented on a few of our stuff. He seems like a pretty cool guy, right?
Yeah, he's a very cool guy. I got to hang out with him and his lovely wife Bobby, and man, we really just had a great time. I haven't seen him in like 25 years. I've talked to him, but I haven't seen him. Dang, and it was good to hang out with him.
That's good, man. I'm glad you got to go connect with your roots. That's cool.
It was, man. So, and this stuff I got, I know we don't normally talk about, dispensaries and all that because they don't sponsor us, but this dispensary is called Virtue. And the reason I'm just kind of throwing that out there is because it's different than any other dispensary I've been to. You just walk in. You don't go to the front and check in and wait for somebody to bring you back. You just walk in. Oh,
so it's not like a doctor's appointment.
No.
Interesting. So their style is different.
It is.
Huh.
And I didn't. Mine was kind of different. I'm like, well, was somebody going to call me back? But no, you just walk in.
Interesting.
Very friendly.
Very open.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, hopefully they get to that point. That'd be awesome. Like,
right.
I miss back when where like everything was a little bit more hands-on in dispensaries. Like when it was swell, like Curaleaf was swell back when.
Yeah.
And they had like the
and they
open
measured
jars.
it out in front of you.
Yeah, and they had the big old jars where you can just open it up and smell the. Oh man, it was great.
Yeah, well, if you look at that, that's not prepackaged. They weighed it out in front of me, just like the old days.
Just like the old. Oh man. I may have to go to just get that experience. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, yeah, honestly, it's pretty good stuff.
Finishes at 32%, better than anything we get here in Arizona.
Hey, all right. Well, if you're ever in Portland.
Yeah, and that was downtown, so Virtue. But how was your week, man?
It's been an iffy week. I've been struggling with. You're having stomach pains. I'm clean today, thank God. But, I've gotten better. I think struggles, man. You gotta make sure you're empty before you start putting more stuff in. It was a bad cycle. Just gonna say that. But I think I'm good. We've been having a bug going around too at work, so I don't know. It may have been that, but I'm better now. I feel better. Eating lighter, so just make sure I'm good. But yeah, it's just a little stomach thing, but I'm good now. Ready for the weekend. Definitely.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Pay yourself.
Definitely pay yourself. It's around the corner for me, first of the month. But yeah, pay yourself. Take care of yourself out there with your money stuff, man. I'm doing that now.
So, I think it'd be good to talk about one of our favorite stocks since we're on the pay yourself.
Yes, one of our favorites. We love this stock.
Sundial Growers.
This is our opinion about it, definitely.
Right.
They had we talked about the Bazinga conference recently.
Yep.
And now we're talking about the quarterly review conference.
Yeah, their Q4 earnings report.
Their earnings report.
And year to year.
Yes. The catching up, basically.
Right. And personally, I'm not one of those kinds of guys that, needs instant gratification.
No.
We've been holding this stock for years.
We have. We've had it for a while, yes.
Yeah. And we've had the stock before Zach George was CEO, I believe. And
we were a part of the space, actually, before he was there.
Right.
Before they reinvented.
So,
not reinvented.
There's a few things that, number one, we talked about the Bazinga cannabis conference,
yes.
and I like Zach George's comment how he's treating Sundial and their movements as combat capitalism.
Yes.
They're acquiring companies. They are making the most out of their capital. They have a lot of money on hand.
I mean, it's kind of like how we talk about like investing in your own space. Like, don't just stick in one and find multiple sources, right? We talk that too.
Right.
Same thing.
So, one of our buddies at Impossible Stock News that follows us on Twitter, Jordan, give him a shout out, calls it the four-headed monster, and with a good reason. They grow, they retail, they also bank, and now they're a large alcohol distributor. So when I look at Sundial, I don't look at just a cannabis company. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a company that is kind of like on par with what Amazon did.
Yeah.
They're
building their foundation right now.
Right. They had Amazon. They had delivery. They own the Washington Post. Mm-hmm. Now, they're doing things. And even Amazon does not own a bank.
In Canada.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So there's so many positive things. And I know one of the negative things that, people who don't kind of truly understand were the losses. They reported $54 million in losses
which
or
was
business expense.
Which was less than last year's, right?
By at least $10 million.
Again.
So they saved.
They saved. So now you have to rewind. They've bought companies. They've opened up different spaces. They're getting different, resources of income, and they've lost less money than when they were beforehand.
Yes.
That's continue.
And when I even
bottom line.
When I hear losses, it doesn't freak me out because losses is just the cost of doing business. Mm-hmm. So keeping the lights on so you can grow, that's a loss, Mm-hmm. And when I hear losses, all I hear is tax breaks. So all the money that Sundial earned when you put their losses on the sheet, how much taxes do they pay? Which means they get to keep all the revenue they earned.
Right.
Losses are not a bad thing. Don't look at them in the negative.
Right. And even on my information for my taxes from our trades, it showed losses in there because there were moments where we've lost.
Yeah.
It was pretty clear on how my money went throughout the year.
Exactly.
So, I'm pretty sure that's what people are hyper focused on, is just seeing the negative side and freaking out. But that's not hyper in the big picture. Like we said, they've bought all these things. They've spent money. They've lost money, yes, but less of it and acquired more. They become more. So
let's break it down. So comparing it from year to this year, from 2021 versus year endings of 2020, mm-hmm. Their losses are less, but it's the cost of doing business that they're reducing. Yes. So, for example, your property sits, or your business sits on a property that the value went up. Now you have higher taxes. Guess what? That's considered a loss.
Right.
But it's a tax break. And so there's all different kinds of factors. I look at the losses and keep moving. Don't waste any time, not losing any sleep.
And a lot of people are waiting for that change, that sudden change.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. This is a long game stock. They even said it in the Bazinga conference. Zach said it himself. In the long term, in the long term, in the long term, multiple times. So it all makes sense that this is basically the platform. They're building where the rocket's going to take off. Basically, they're building their platform. This is section the fourth of this, a fourth of that, a fourth of this. Put them all together. Okay, here's our base. Our foundation's good. Now let's start working. They're acquiring companies that are already running and functioning. They don't need to go get more workers. They don't need to go and do that. They already have a space. They just need to change the name, which is also a part of the process that they're working on.
Yep.
So it's I don't see the negative right now. I don't. I really don't see the negative, and I'm all for the future with it because when has a bank failed?
Only if they've done something criminal.
So I'm along for the ride. It's on sale right now. I like the stock, and that's mainly it. This platform that they're building in Canada, by the way, they even said again in the conference. I'm reflecting what we said last week that North American money. They're like, okay, yeah, U.S. money, it'll come and go when it does.
Right.
It's whatever. We're fine where we are. He said it.
And they have so even Sunstream, the banking arm, has how many millions of dollars that they're already doing business here in the United States. And because they're a bank, there's two words that go with that I really like as a shareholder. And that's with interest. Because when they loan money out, it's coming back in more than what they lent.
And we've seen, again, we get the numbers. We see the process that they're loaning money out to make more money. Yeah, so it's literally the process with stocks too. You pay for a stock, you watch it fall or grow, whichever you do, whatever, but you have to pay for it still. You're still technically paying for it. You're putting money towards something. Yeah. So like, that's the bottom line of it, or whichever. But the other thing about the conference that I reflected on was that these are all revenues that doesn't have the total of everything, the foundation.
Thank you.
We're still waiting for the NASDAQ compliance. We're still waiting on that. And that's on August 29th.
And this was just Q4 and year to end. The Alcana merger didn't end till the end of Q1. Q1 won't get reported until next month, I believe it is.
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah. So, when quarter 2 earnings come out, now we'll have the full revenue power of the Alcana acquisition, of Sunstream. And that will be well before August 8th when NASDAQ compliance comes out. Exactly. I'm not worried.
I mean, I'm not either, man. We got plenty of time. I like the stock. That's it. Like the numbers that they're showing right now is basically, like we've said before, if you're going to pay for something, you're going to see it decrease, right? Because you're buying into something. But if you believe in what you're buying into and it does what it does, your monkey goes and dances and it makes money. Yeah. And then yay, the monkey made me money. Like you gotta invest into something. You gotta buy the saxophone you're gonna go play. You gotta buy the piano. You gotta buy the car you're gonna go race. You gotta invest first to gain.
Correct.
So you gotta pay to go play in the tour. Like all that shit.
Nothing is free.
Nothing's free, bro. You gotta get into it somehow. Yeah. But
that's how I feel about Sundial. Again, the stocks are on sale right now, as
all of them are right now.
Right? Yeah, everything is. But
pay for yourself, man. Pay yourself. So get out there.
Look at it like, have you ever asked yourself or heard yourself say, "Oh my God, I wish I was around when Amazon first came out. I would have bought stock then." We are looking at Sundial right now
in Canada.
That's trading at, I think today it was on a down and closed at like 46, 47 cents
on sale. I've been waiting for it. Honestly, I've been waiting for it to hit 50 cents. It's not at 50 cents. But I mean, it's gonna happen.
It will.
I mean, people are falling through the old mindset. We've grown here on Hanging with Uncle, talking about investing. Like we followed way back when we started following the GME trend, we started following the AMC's trend. Like Sundial, yes, essentially is a meme, was labeled a meme stock, but they even said in their announcements and all that that's not what they want to be, and that's not what they even tried to be. They were just about the hype that happened, but they also understand the power of that.
Yes.
So
the retail investor has saved Sundial.
It has, and they want to give back to you in the long term. And Elon Musk plays the long-term game. Just saying.
I'll sit on the bus and let Zach drive.
I mean, he's on bad terms right now with me on Twitter, but that's it.
That's another conversation.
That's a whole other Let's move on from that one. Let's talk about basketball.
How about those Suns, man?
Oh, thank God. Whew. Okay, so I hit the table. I even said when Booker had the hammy issue that they've won with Booker being gone. They have beaten playoff teams. They've done it before. They can do it again. They went 2 for 1 without Booker. That's pretty good if you think about it in a playoff atmosphere. But people discredit it. They can't win without Booker. So when Game 6 was coming up,
you mean like the ones they won without Booker?
Without Booker, yeah. When Game 6 was coming up, I even said to my brother, I was like, it's either he plays the last 2 games or he sits the last 2 games. It's not one or the other. Because imagine going into Game 7 and having a catastrophe. Like, I think that's what you want to avoid.
Right.
So, I mean, that's not what happened, thank God. They won without Booker, thank God, brought it back to home court advantage, and then won it in Game 6 on the road. Which, again, I'm tired of media avoiding this. They have a better away record in other people's arenas than other teams, all of the other teams, every single one, their own home record when they're playing at their own court.
Right.
So I was not worried. Like,
they're deep. Even without Booker, if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I'm really coming to play. And hope I can take advantage of Booker not being there until he comes back. But I don't think it's going to save him.
No, I mean, Booker's back, thank God. Like, he played the game, winning and all that nonsense. But, like, this whole time after the series, they have rest. They're going to play the Mavericks, though. So they know. I mean,
no slouch.
No slouch, Luka. But I'm happy it's not Utah. I feel like even though we're a big defensive threat team, hi, babe, I see you commenting. Well, I'll get to you in a second. Even though they've played differently against teams that have multiple threats.
Yeah.
Utah has multiple threats. I'm not discrediting anybody being an NBA player, but the Mavericks have one threat, and that's Luka Doncic, and we know how to make stars struggle. So
yeah,
hopefully that same mentality goes into the next series. Talking seriously about this, I want to do a prediction now. I would say game in 5.
I'm going to say 6.
You're going to say 6?
I'm going to say 6 because Dallas is no slouch.
They are no slouch. I'm not discrediting them.
No.
But I think the Suns had their slump. They've felt the funk. They don't want to feel that funk anymore. Like how Bridges showed he doesn't want to feel that funk anymore. Cam Johnson's still in his funk. Jay Crowder's trying to get out of his. CP3 has come out of his. Everybody's campaigns come out of his. They're slowly working on it. Ayton has been the only, and McGee have been the only consistent players we've had so far.
I was going to say, man, McGee has been solid.
McGee has been pretty solid. Ayton's been pretty solid. So we've defined our inside threat, right? Our big man threat.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to our shooting because that's what our issue is. But as soon as we get back to our shooting, we're back to rhythm. And we've beaten the Mavericks. I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood. 10 of the last 11 times.
This is a different season now.
It is a different season, playoff season. Yes, I understand. But what I'm saying is like, if we get in rhythm, I feel like we can stay that away mentality and take a game away from them in Dallas and then win at home.
I will say that winning that many games over an opponent gives you confidence, but I wouldn't be overconfident.
Right. I wouldn't be overconfident, but I wouldn't doubt that being how the series ends also.
Right.
Absolutely. Brittany says, I stand by the fact that when we started dating, it's made the sun better. Just like, she's talking about sundial, yeah. And
yes.
We've had it for years. Brittany and I have been dating for 2 years. Yeah. So if you want to chronologically try to put things together.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi, man. Anyways, yeah. Ball is ball. Mavericks are no slouch. Luka Doncic's no slouch either.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great series.
You know, I got to just go to the East for a little bit, and I have to laugh at the Nets, not Steve Nash, because I think he's a good coach, but I think that Kevin Durant and Spaceship Kyrie are going to do nothing but bring that organization down, and if you want to help Steve Nash, get rid of those guys, free up some cap space and build a better team with guys that actually want to play as a team.
Yeah, that's what Nash is known for as a player as well, though. Having a facilitating team. Like, he was a facilitator on a team.
Yeah.
Multiple teams. So, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I feel like Durant functions in a facilitating offense, but Kyrie does not. They proved that with LeBron. He didn't want to play with LeBron afterwards for no fucking reason why.
Oh, man. Spaceship.
Flat Earth and stuff.
Right.
But, I mean, he's not that kind of player. Like we've talked early in the season, I feel like Patty Mills should have been the starter. Like, he should have been the starter, a facilitating guard, having Kevin Durant move off ball screens like Steph Curry. Holy shit, that'd be scary.
Right.
And and that's it. Go dunker's position, come off ball off screens, get the mismatch, like run that kind of offense. That's literally the offense that like you can flourish in, and then start getting those players that can run what Nash is familiar with run and gun offense. Get those players that can run that. Look out. Right. I think Brooklyn would be a crazy team because I can see Kevin Durant trailing. Patty Mills, whoop, bah, easy. Like, I'm not. Durant can play ball. Durant's a baller. I don't want to discredit that he's a baller. He can play basketball. He is the best player in the league. I would continuously say it because I don't like. I'm biased with Booker. Like,
I'll say this about KD, man. He needs, or even just look at his career, in Seattle and OKC.
He needs support.
He needs support. He's not the man.
No, he's not.
So I think, if I'm a team that's looking for that missing piece, like if Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert decide to stay in Utah,
which is a thing,
I could see KD going to Utah. That would be a good fit.
Or Mitchell can go to Brooklyn. Could you imagine that? Woo! Go put crazy Kyrie in Utah. That's perfect fit right there. Go fit with those fans. They're all psycho out there. They all, But the future, we don't know what else with the other teams and what they're playing right now because we know that Miami's going to be playing Milwaukee, correct? Yeah. And
Boston will
be playing Philly. That's it. Yeah. I've still got Boston going to the finals.
I still like Philly.
So this is kind of like the deciding factor here for us in the Eastern right here.
This is kind of OG. This reminds me of going back to the 70s because the Sixers-Celtics rivalry, those were classic games.
I was talking with Brittany earlier. I was like, it reminds me that talking where the Suns are with what Booker's climbing and facing, and Ayton too as well. Like they're facing Luka right now. Like I know in the finals, Tatum's going to be there. Like, there's that big talk right now of Booker and Tatum, and that's going to be the thing that's going to happen in the finals. Like, Tatum's huge. The role players in Boston are great. They're the number one defense in the league at the end of the year. The Suns had it most of the season. And then they also are the number one scoring offense right now, I think. So, I mean, look out for them. I don't see the two stars carrying it out. They're a pretty complete team.
They are.
Let's get the Milwaukee-Boston Eastern Conference Final is going to be crazy.
I definitely think Milwaukee will be playing for the Eastern Conference Final again.
Yeah.
I don't see Atlanta giving them anything. They didn't last year.
Well, they beat Atlanta, thank goodness. But the Bucks don't have Middleton.
No.
Can they stop Giannis, or can they have complete offense to outscale Giannis's offense? Maybe. I can see that happening. Butler's in his bag right now.
Yeah, I think Middleton not having him is going to be a big Achilles, for the Bucks offense. Mm-hmm. Can they, shuffle around without him in there? I don't know.
And you can't discredit the Heat. They're number one in the East.
Yeah,
they are the 1 seed. But I still see Boston, Milwaukee in the Eastern Finals. I can see it going to 7 with the Heat and Milwaukee.
And I see a Philly-Milwaukee Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. But with the West right now, the Suns, the Mavericks, of course, we talked about that. But the Warriors are waiting on their opponent, the Timberwolves or the Grizzlies. Currently, right now, they are playing. The Grizz were up, I think, last I saw. Yes, they're still up. 39-36 right now with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah.
The Grizz can close out tonight. I think it's at home for them as well. No, it's in Minnesota right now. So, I don't know. The crowd's ruthless in Minnesota. And we've come to recognize how strong a crowd is in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
There's some big... The Pelicans crowd was no joke. I'm not even going to lie.
Well, those arenas, like I said, when you're playing indoors, the sound has nowhere to go but in your ears.
In your ears, yeah. It's loud in there, definitely. Yeah, those microphones, they do pick up the noise for a reason.
Yeah.
Because there's no other things they're also picking it up. It's
well, and you got to those buildings are built, with acoustics in mind, because when games aren't being played, you have concerts going in there and other musical,
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in a concert in Talking Stick, so
exactly.
It's nice. Yeah, it's System of a Down and Slipknot. It was cool.
Reminds me, like I said, my first job. Working at the Forum in Inglewood, California, and watching every Laker game and King game and all the concerts that were in there for 2 years when I was in high school.
I should look at jobs at the arena.
Well, again, so it's not like full-time jobs.
Right, yeah, of course, because they have seasonal kind of.
I mean, so the Suns play 82 games a year. There's 365 days in a year. I don't think there's a living to be made.
Absolutely. But you never know. You never know. You can work other things too. There's other jobs. They do other things there and such. Side job. Who knows? Something like that. I haven't been really down to a second job, but who knows? Who knows? Do you want to hop into our dumbass of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do that.
I have a pretty big one. It's going to be kind of sensitive, but because it's a big topic.
We need to talk about it, though.
We need to talk about it. I'm a big preacher on people who are in leadership positions who need to do what they need to do. You know, you're a leader. You have responsibilities. I myself am a leader. I do say sometimes I do slack in my responsibilities. Yes, it happens, but I make up for them and or I acknowledge that I do and correct. But the judge made a mistake for the Parkland shooting with the jurors going on with the trial. If anybody's not updated, again, it's a sensitive topic, but it's about the Parkland school shooting. Nicholas Cruz, he pleaded guilty in 2018. This happened in Florida. 11 died, and of course children and also staff. He blindly fired into classrooms and anybody who was on site down hallways and in stairwells. But the mishandle of the jurors in this case is a total collapse, and that's why the judge, the Schroeder, I believe, is my dumbass of the week, because not only did she openly know that the jurors were not corrupt, they were biased, and they felt like they did not see fit or feel fit to sit trial. She accepted them and allowed them to sit trial. That's one incident of the case, though. That's what's crazy about it, and it sucks that it's being mishandled. That's the issue. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's not because I'm nothing against what's going on, nothing against the victims or anything. Prayers for their families. It's just the mishandle of this leader of allowing 11 jurors to sit on the stand that are biased and felt like they didn't see fit to sit on the trial, and to allow it to continue with them is a mishandle of your responsibilities, and that's crazy to me.
I'm surprised neither one of the attorneys decided to, challenge this.
I mean, all of them did. The defense and also the attorneys were against them being biased or whichever the case may be, not see fit. So they're actually the judge called 11 of them to come back to talk about their answers, obviously to change things or something to get things to see fit. I don't know. I guess there's some emotion behind it. I don't know what they're doing with the rest of it, but that's not the only thing. With these people being and not being fit to sit trial, they've had outbursts, and they've even threatened the
defendant.
The defendant, yeah. They've even threatened him. That's not okay.
It's not. I don't support the Parkland shooter. But we gotta have a fair jury.
No, I'm not about it at all. I've looked into the case. The whole thing was terrifying.
Right.
The whole thing is, it makes me scared for children in the future to go to schools. But it's just the mishandling of your responsibility in this kind of thing, and something at this level is crazy to me. Yeah. So that's why she's getting the award today. You are my dumbass of the week. So the Judge Schroeder, figure it out. Elizabeth Schroeder, man. God.
Well, my dumbass of the week is Los Angeles County Sheriff.
Okay.
An elected position, not a deputy. The sheriff, Alex Villanueva, is my dumbass of the week, because a reporter, Aileen Chekmedian, wrote a report not favorable of the department and the sheriff, so he decided he was going to hold a press conference to attack where reporters are getting their information from within inside the department, because he doesn't want negative things being broadcast negatively about his department.
Okay.
What he didn't realize is that Aileen Chekmedian was sitting in the press conference that he was holding, saying he was going to hold reporters accountable for doing their job under the First Amendment.
I
So again, now we tried not to be political today, if you guys have noticed.
No, I'm trying to, yeah.
But the First Amendment and freedom of the press is therefore, like you always say, hey, Gene, how come we don't have more transparency? Mm-hmm. And that's why. How can we have transparency on what's going on with our elected officials that are supposed to have responsibility over tax dollars that we give them to operate, and then try and hide transparency? What are you trying to hide? Why don't you want the people to know what's going on within your department unless you've got something to hide that you're doing wrong?
This is the thing that people have, why they have trust issues with the police. Because
ding, 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 ding.
Shit like that gets mishandled all the time.
This issue is why Colin Kaepernick took a knee.
Right.
Because of police misconduct.
Like shady shit. The abuse of power within just that. I'm not saying all cops are like that. No. But it's literally a continuous story.
How can you hold a press conference to say we're going to violate your First Amendment freedom of speech, freedom of press?
I don't know.
So he wants to jail and prosecute the press for reporting what's going on within the department.
For being transparent.
You're a dumbass, Alex Villanueva. I hope that you don't run for re-election, and if you do run, I hope you lose miserably. You are the reason people complain about law enforcement.
Well, there they are, man. Those are our dumbasses of the week. Look into the stories, please. Go educate yourself out there and check them out. That's just our topics and our conversation, or how we feel about it today, man.
Yes.
I want to do a little correction. Brittany meant the Suns, not Sundial, but I mean Sundial has kind of helped with things still, anyways. But the Sun. The Suns.
Set him straight, Brittany.
Yeah, she has been paying attention to the ball, man. She's been enjoying it.
Yeah,
I hope she has. But,
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to say that if you have not already, please hit that subscribe and like button.
Yes, and if you also haven't hit that bell for notifications wherever we go live, honestly, if you have on your phone, there's a notification that you get where it says to notify you if your phone is if you're active on the app or continuous. Hit the continuous. I feel like it helps with notifications coming through on your phone, because the only notifications come through when you hit the app. You won't see us when we go live. Absolutely.
And it does help. And help us get to that 1,000 subscribers.
Absolutely. That's our goal. I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
It's been Hanging with Uncle. Follow us on Twitter. Get in the conversation with us. If there's anything you want us to talk about, we're here.
Let us know. All right. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Good show.
We got to figure out how to moderate.
I'm looking. I'm like, cool. We've got live chat.
Yeah. Like, can you get on YouTube real quick? Are you able to get to our show? Yeah. See if you can click her avatar somehow or whatever and moderate her.
Oh, all right, here we go. Let me get out of this.
No, you're good. I'm hungry, man. I'm debating on what I'm gonna eat. No.
I made oatmeal for dinner if you want some.
That's heavy. I already had some wheat earlier. I don't want to get sick.
Well, let me get this up first. And damn, why won't this?
We're still alive.
Why are we still live?